You're not going to believe we're not drinking something that's alcoholic this morning.
Oh, it's 9:30 in the morning.
This is Jill for today, and he's got
Cheers.
coffee, and I've got straight tomato juice. Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Well,
Actually,
today
that's
is a
very
better
tasty.
day for us because we have literally had the worst air quality in the
Entire world.
entire world. Hey,
We made it.
We're number one. But we've had the first rain last night that we've had in forever.
Oh, yeah.
And as a result, we're down into the
Well, you told me, I can't remember now. It's still in
150 range.
hazardous.
Yeah, unhealthy. No,
Unhealthy.
it's below.
Unhealthy.
We were way up at hazardous, and now we're just unhealthy.
We were up in the 300s as far as air quality goes.
Yeah, way over 300, 370 or something like that. But,
So I have every window in my
yeah.
place open. I couldn't take it anymore.
and I checked, we were at 369, I think. I checked on some of our relatives in California. They were at 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, we're breathing a little better. We actually have the windows open on the place
boy.
today for the first time in forever.
Probably almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't take it anymore. We've had fans running and I've had the air conditioning running, something just to kick the air around because it was so strong. In fact, we went to some friend's house day before yesterday. She has a garden and wanted us to pick up some veggies. Actually, they brought the veggies to us and then we forgot we hadn't given them something. So we wanted to get out anyway. So we took a drive over to their place and really it was unbelievable. We hadn't been out.
That's true.
It was unbelievable. The smoke was...
I had been out for a
so
dental
thick.
appointment, and I get to go out this afternoon for another dental
You
appointment
poor thing.
to get drilled on.
So this morning, I have this shoulder that's just, maybe you remember, just been causing me nothing but grief. And I talked to my oncologist actually, and I said, and she said, well, you had an order in for that, but you never had the x-rays done. And I forgot. So we go down to Kaiser this morning at 7:30 to try to beat the rush, which we did. I go in to check in, and she says, your left shoulder? And I said, no, my right shoulder. Are you sure? Well, of course I'm sure which shoulder it is. So I have to come back and contact my doctor. I understand it's an order, but really I know which shoulder is causing me problems.
But they can't do anything without an order.
No, they can't. So actually we have kind of a little list here today. And some of them are kind of interesting. I don't think a lot of them, they're not all bitchy. They're all pretty good. So the sewing machine saga. It's a funny story, actually. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jill Ferday is going to try weaving again, and she got herself a rigid heddle loom. But when you weave, you need to be able to finish the fabric that you weave or whatever project you're weaving. So we found an inexpensive sewing machine at Joann and fabric store.
Online.
So I purchased her a sewing machine for $130. And shortly after I purchased this, they sent us a coupon for 20% off our next purchase.
Very nice.
Shortly after that, they sent us a second sewing machine, but they didn't charge us for it.
So we got the first one, and about a week later, we got the second one.
Got the second one. So Jill Ferday calls up Joann's and tries to explain to the lady what happened, and lady's worried that somebody else didn't get their sewing machine because we got their... No, it wasn't the case. They just sent us two sewing machines. A couple weeks later, a $105 credit shows up in our checking account, which would be the $130 we paid for the sewing machine, less the 20% sales coupon.
So now I have a sewing machine and $105.
So Jill Ferday calls up Joann's and explains the whole situation. And they say, we'll get back to you in a few days. And sure enough, they did.
They did.
A couple days later, they call us up. They recount the history of the second sewing machine, the return, and an incorrect refund of the $105. And they say, we're sorry, we have no way to take back that $105. So please keep and enjoy your sewing machine and keep the refund on us.
Can you
so
really? That's pretty.
They just gave us $105.
Yeah.
She ended up with a net cost of $25 sewing machine.
Yeah, they were extremely nice. Really,
They're
they
nuts.
were. Well,
I don't know how they stay in business doing business that way.
Okay, so we got the sewing machine. I'm going to scratch that off. The sewing machine thing out of the way. Well, you know, I had that microgreen sprout growing kit that I started, and I know I've had a couple of people write saying, "How are the sprouts going?" So I did it, and it wasn't working. The thing wasn't growing, and so I wrote them again. A very, very nice company, super attentive and all that. So she said, "Well, the seeds just aren't getting wet. That's your problem." So she said, "Go ahead and re-wet the thing. Put some more water in there, all that." So I did, and they started to come in, and they actually all did come in. Well, they did after we got the.
It didn't look like the picture on the internet.
Well, it sort of did. I think what I thought microgreens were going to be were much larger, you know, well, actually when
It was also more densely packed on the internet.
And they sent me a whole nother pad to try. And I haven't tried the second pad, only the first one, the quilt as they call it. But I am kind of disappointed in it. I thought it would be bigger and better, and when I cut all those off there wasn't enough for 2 sandwiches. That's how little was on there. So that was
and
a little
it wasn't
bit
cheap.
No, my God, it wasn't cheap. So that was a little bit of a disappointing. So there's that one. Okay, we talked about the smoke. Now, I talked about the shoulder. Gosh, my list is just clicking down.
Well, that's all right. I thought of something.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. I'll go ahead. You tell your story, and then I'll tell my last story.
Well, we live in a condominium, and right adjacent to the condominium is a small green belt,
which many of you might know about already.
And years ago, a gentleman who owned it and lives in California had put together a plan to turn it into a mini mall.
Oh boy.
Horrible idea. There used to be an old, very funky, very ratty little grocery store on the corner that eventually went out. And so this gentleman was going to build a mini mall in this space. And they hired an architect, they drew up plans, they had a public meeting where we all went and
big deal
testified. And the guy said, "Won't it be nice to have a 7-Eleven right next to you?" And we said, "If you think we're ever going to patronize any of those stores in that mall after you've destroyed our property value, you must be crazy." So long story short, they scrapped the idea for a mini mall, and then about 6 years ago, the gentleman sold the property to the local water district. So now just this past year, the water district is building a pipeline from a city south of here to a city west of here. It's going to come right along our way, and they've decided that they're going to build a pump station and fluoridation plant in this greenbelt. So yesterday, the county planning department held a public hearing, a virtual hearing via Zoom on it, and I testified in opposition to their plan. It will go nowhere. They will build the plant. This morning, after our signature glass of coffee or whatever, I'm meeting with one of our board members to discuss where we go from here. So it's a lot more involved than I wanted to be, and it's going to be like, I don't know, something in the wind.
So was that the short story? Was that the short version?
Yeah, that was the short version.
I won't. Do you want me to cut it out?
Not unless you want to.
Well, I don't want to cut it out. You always, well, what?
Maybe this is why they kept telling me, shut up at the virtual hearing. Shut up.
Okay, so we're moving on from that story. And story number 2, I tried an experiment this week, and I was going to do it on camera, and I said, no, you do it by yourself and see how it works. Well, I have read many things about freezing avocados, because I like to buy avocados, but because I'm shopping online, I can't buy a lot of avocados at one time because,
Also, you don't know if the guy's going to pick you a good avocado.
And that's the other thing. You never know with these people picking your avocados. So I said, okay, I looked it up online, and there was one for freezing the whole thing, just like in fact, in the freezer, it looked like a grenade, and you freeze the whole thing. and you take it out and let it sit for 30 minutes. You rinse it off. I don't know why. And you said let it sit on your counter for 30 minutes, and then you do it. And there was a video there. Oh, it was very impressive. So I did it. And I cut into it, and I said, oh, wow, this is pretty good. You know, I opened it up, and he said, oh, my God. I said, I know, it's green in there. I can't believe it. So I peeled it like she said to peel it. Well, I wrapped it real good and put it in the refrigerator, and you didn't know this because I didn't show you, within 30 minutes I had guacamole. I mean, the thing just went blow up, and I don't know whether had I put it in a salad immediately, would it have been any better, but certainly it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out.
So it blew up like a hand grenade.
It blew up like a hand grenade. So
was that the long version or the short version?
Very funny. And finally, he has a gripe about me and dreams.
Men, if there's any men out there watching, are you subjected every morning to hearing about all the off-the-wall, weird, crazy dreams your wife has had? I am. Every morning. Every morning over coffee. The first 15 minutes is about all the dreams Jill Ferday has. And believe me, Jill Ferday has a ton of them.
You know, the last couple of dreams I've had, now a lot of them, you know, I don't know how you are. It's like I'll wake up and say, oh my gosh, this dream, I got to remember this dream to tell him in the morning. And a lot of times the dream is gone. And I guess you get my little diary out and write it down, but I don't normally. But the last couple of dreams I've had have been about masks. Not wearing masks, or there's something wrong with somebody who's not wearing a mask. But it's been about masks. The last night was about me going to this clinic to have my shoulder x-rayed. Nobody had masks. I didn't have a mask on, and I walked in the door. I said, "Oh my gosh, you know!" I put my mask on. Nobody has masks. The employees don't have masks. The patients don't have masks, and I'm having a cow. And I'm saying, "How could you? How could you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
How could you? How could you not have masks on? This is a clinic." Oh, well, you know, we all kind of got tired of wearing the masks, so we decided against it. So that's really a recurring thing now for me.
It's the second time I've had to sit through that dream today.
Well, you know what? You just may have to sit through it the third time. Okay. All right, that's it. Movies.
What about the movie report?
Movie report. Well, we saw quite a few of them. They say, oh, God, not movies again. Well, we have nothing else to talk to you about because I'm cutting that whole story about the greenbelt out. No, I'm not going to. I'll just trim it a little here and there.
Men, you get no respect from your spouse.
Oh, you just love me to death, and you know you do. Okay.
Okay, if you say so.
Battle Circus.
We saw Battle Circus.
Battle Circus. Neither of us.
Humphrey Bogart and June Allison. June Allison leaves me cold. Always has. I love Humphrey Bogart.
It was good though.
It was about a MASH unit in Korea.
Yeah, World War. Oh, that was right. It was Korea. Yeah, it was very. No, honey, it was World War II.
No, it was Korea.
Okay. Could have been.
I'm pretty sure it was
all right,
Korea.
well, we're not going to, you know.
I don't know.
I don't either. Suspicion.
It was about a MASH unit.
It was about a MASH unit. Suspicion with Cary Grant and Joan Fontaine, and it was a Hitchcock.
It was a hodgepodge.
It was a Hitchcock movie, and
it was very good.
It was very good.
But you know about these old movies, they get so far. It's like I said before.
Yeah.
They get so far and they say, "Okay, we've acted enough. Let's just end it here." And they do.
And I think that was one of them again. Yeah. I did that. MASH, the movie MASH. We did see the movie MASH.
Yeah.
And that, again, it's one of those. You know, a lot of these. Some of these we haven't seen, but a lot of them, you know, we haven't seen them in 50 years.
Don Sutherland, Elliot Gould.
Yeah.
The only member that was in the movie that made it to the television was Gary Berghoff.
That's right.
Radar.
That's right. Okay. The Two Mrs. Carols with Cary Grant again and Barbara Stanwyck, which is not one of his favorite actresses. This was not was that a Hitchcock, The Two Mrs. Carols?
I don't think so.
It could have been.
Could have been.
It could. I mean, it was very. It could have been a kind of movie, but it was very good. Good suspense movie.
We started to watch See Here, Private Hargar with Robert Walker. It was very simple, and Donna Reed. And
maybe that's the one I'm thinking of that was World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm sorry, but yeah. So don't, you know, the other one we started to watch because a friend of ours, Bob, told us to watch What was it? Outer.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Bad on you. Bad on you.
It was an Ed Wood.
Oh.
Ed Wood was a maker of cheap, very bad horror films. I think the
Horrible.
budget for this one was $12, and it was
yeah.
really sad because it was apparently the only acting job Bela Lugosi could get at that point after Dracula, and it just we lasted 11 minutes and 32 seconds, and that was it, and shut it down.
Shame on you.
Shut it down.
Okay, so we saw The Prize with Paul Newman, Elke Summer, and Edward G. Robinson.
Elke Summer, woof.
Well, Paul Newman, those blue eyes, oh my God, I find him very sexy.
And anyway, that is a very Hitchcock-like film.
Definitely. It is one of his.
Yeah. No, it's not.
But it's very Hitchcockish.
Very Hitchcock.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh wait, you know The Suspicion with Cary Grant? That was the one.
That was Hitchcock.
I know, that's the one where he was mistaken. That's all I'm going to say about it. That he was mistook for someone else.
No, she was mistaking him for something.
All right.
Never mind.
I'm totally lost again.
Never mind.
The Company of Strangers. Or Strangers in Good Company. It has two names.
Two names, same movie. Company of Strangers, Strangers in Good Company.
You got to see this movie.
It's.
Oh my.
It's about a group of old women. Old.
In their late 70s. Early 80s.
On a bus trip.
Yeah.
That get stranded out in the wild, basically, and have to survive until one of them can hike out and get help. And anyway, none of the women are professional actors. The whole movie was unscripted. They just kind of, related their stories. And it was a very good movie.
Oh, yeah.
We hadn't seen it in 25, 30 years.
I think the director would have directed them saying, why don't you tell a story about your life? I mean, so it wasn't like they were just loose, but honestly, it is the most interesting movie. And it's not a documentary. I mean, it's a movie, but oh my gosh, that's a good movie. And then, of course, we saw Double Indemnity, film noir at its absolute best.
Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck.
Who else was in that?
Edward G.
Robinson again. Yeah.
I love Edward G. Robinson.
My gosh, it is. If you like a good film noir, you got to see this one because it's just black and white and it's in the 50s and it's just over the top. It's so good.
And the other thing is, if you're ever going to watch a movie, don't watch it with Jill Ferday after dinner because she will fall asleep. So the other movie we started watching. I worked so hard
during the day.
We needed something light and cheery, so we started watching Cat Ballou with Jane Fonda and Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin's marvelous in it.
Michael Callan and Dwayne Hickman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a fun movie. We're about halfway through it, and I did fall asleep. Well, you get that signature glass and wine in me, and get me my little chair. Get that bottle of signature wine.
Signature bottle of wine in her, yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's it. I guess that's enough. They're saying, holy cow, what are they people talking about?
I've got to go to my meeting here soon.
Oh, you do? Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right, everybody. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for putting up with this. I know you've probably got other things to do, but maybe you don't. So.
But maybe not. Maybe you're like us and just trapped in the house and...
At least now we can maybe take a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't gone anywhere because it's been so
Because
horrible.
the air hasn't been breathable.
Oh, God, you can't even get out there and take a drive. All right, well, thank you for watching. Tell your friends. Subscribe. And I know, there's a little bell down there. And then if it's right next to the word that says subscribe, if you hit that little bell, then whenever I upload a video, you can run for the hills. No, you'll know that one is being uploaded. And you'll be the first to know, yeah?
And remember, when you wake up, tell everybody you know about the dreams you have.
There you go. All right, everybody, thanks a lot. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Got it on my left finger. There we go.